Today we are going to learn how to use multiplication to solve problems. This is just a continuation of yesterday, and we are going to practice multiplying. Let's look at our question. The park has a large garden with a walkway around it. What is the area of the walkway? So we basically want to find out the area of the walkway. If we look at area, we know that area equals length times width. Our park is this whole thing around, and then the garden is this green patch in the middle. We want to find out the area around the garden, this area right here. To solve this problem, we have to do several steps. First, we have to find out the area of the park. Then, we have to find out the area of the garden. Last, we need to subtract the difference to find out the yellow part in the middle that I just highlighted. To find the area of the park, we need to multiply 85 times 52. I'm getting these numbers because if I look at the picture, I can see that the length is 85 and the width is 52. So to find the area, all I have to do is multiply both of them. To multiply this number, I'm going to use a standard algorithm with regrouping, like we did yesterday. Hopefully, after seeing it again, it'll start to click today. First, we're going to multiply the ones place. So I'm just going to start with this 2, the ones place on the bottom. Multiply your ones place by your ones place on the top. 2 times 5 is 10. Instead of writing down 10, since I am using regrouping, I'm going to place my 0 and regroup my 1 over the tens place. Next, I'm going to multiply my ones by my tens. So 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 more is 17. I'm not done. Now I need to multiply the tens. But before I do that, I have to use my 2 rules. 1, I have to place a 0 to hold the place of the ones, and 2, I have to erase what I regrouped. Now I am ready to multiply my tens. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 5, which is 25. Don't write down 25, instead write down your 5 and regroup your 2. Last, I'm going to multiply my tens times my tens. So 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 more is 42. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the partial products. 7 plus 5 is 12. Regroup your 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. And last, I have 4. So the area of the actual park is 4,420 feet squared. We always say squared if we are using area. That was step 1. Step 2. Now I need to multiply the area of the garden. I have 65 feet times 32 feet. So 65 times 32. Once again, I'm going to use a standard algorithm with regrouping. On your paper, go ahead and create a 3-column note so you can do this work with me. First, let's multiply our ones times our ones. So 2 times 5 is 10. Put your 0, regroup your 1. Next, we're going to multiply 2 times 6, which is 12, plus 1 more is 13. I'm not done yet. I still need to multiply my tens. Before I multiply my tens, let's put a 0 to hold the place of the ones and erase what we regrouped. Now we are ready to multiply the tens. We're going to multiply 3 times 5, which is 15. Do not put down the whole 15, just put down the 5 and regroup the 1. Then multiply 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 1 more is 19. go ahead and add your partial products, and you should get that the garden is 2,080 feet squared. Since we want to find the walkway around, we are going to subtract these two numbers to find what is left. So we have 4,420 minus 2,080. When you're subtracting, make sure you always put the larger number on top. Just subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. We cannot take 8 from 2, so we need to go next door and regroup. 12 minus 8 is 4. 3 minus 0 is 3. And 4 minus 2 is 2. So we have a total of 2,340 feet squared. 6. Let's do our guided practice together. Problem number 1 is actually really tricky, but I'm going to talk through it with you. And don't worry, you do not need to do a problem like this on your test. Number 1, what is the missing factor? So I have 47 times some number equals 1,504. To solve this problem, I thought in my head, first I know I need to multiply the ones place by the ones place. So what number times 7 would give me a number that has a 4 in the ones place? The only one that I could think of that would work would be the number 2, because 7 times 2 is 14. And if 7 times 2 is 14 and I regrouped the 1, I know that 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 more is 9. So that would work with 94. Then we place our 0. Next, we have to find out the other missing number. So once again, next I know I need to multiply the 10s by the 1s. And what is a number that you can multiply and get a 1 in your ones place of your answer? Well, I thought of the number 3, because 7 times 3 is 21. So if you put your 1 down and you regrouped your 2, then we would multiply 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 more is 14. So it would work with this number. So our answer would be 1,504. Number 2. When you use the algorithm shown on the previous page to multiply two-digit numbers, why does the second partial product end in 0? Well, we can use this number right here. The second partial product would be this number right here, 1,410. All second partial products are always going to end in 0, because if you think about our rule, the second step of our rule is always to put a 0 to hold the ones place, because in our second partial product, you start with the 10s, and 3 times 7 is not really 3 times 7. It is actually 30 times 7, which would end in a 0. Number 3. We have 37 times 83. Start with your ones place. So you're going to multiply your ones times your ones, and you're going to get 21. Since we are using regrouping, don't write down 21. Put your 1 and regroup your 3 times 9 plus 2 more is 11. Then go ahead and do your 2 steps. Place a 0 to hold your ones place, because you're really going to be multiplying 80, not 8. And also erase what you regrouped. Now you're ready to multiply the tens place. So we are going to multiply 8 times 7, which is 56. Put plus 5 is 29. Add up your partial products, and you should get 3,071. Number 4. We have 62 times 17. Start with your ones. 7 times 2 is 14. Put your 4 and regroup your 1. Then you're going to multiply 7 times 6, which is 42, plus 1 more is 43. Put a 0 to hold your ones place before multiplying your tens. Erase what you regrouped. Now we're going to multiply 1 times 2, which is 2. Whoops, sorry about that. And 1 times 6, which is 6. Add them up, and you are going to get 1,054. Let's do number 5. I think I'm going to skip number 6 because I'm not going to have room on here. And you can go ahead and do that one on your own when I'm done with this one. We have 43 times 56. Start with your ones. 6 times 3 is 18. Put your 8, regroup your 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 more is 25. Now you're going to multiply your tens, but before you do, put a 0 to hold the place and erase what you regrouped. Now you're ready. So we're going to multiply 5 times 3, which is 15. Put your 5, regroup your 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 more is 21. Add your partial products, and you should get 2,408. All right, now it is your turn. Go ahead and do number 6, and then do the odd numbers on page 227. Try to do a few the way I have just showed you, but if you get really confused, go ahead and do it any way you want. When you are finished, please show me your work.